action. What's going on, you guys? I'm Dallas Cowboy Football News. Thank you for another Saturday night, guys. We couldn't do this without you. We're only doing this because we know you just clicked on the notification, you clicked on the link, and you're here. That's the only reason why we know we can do this, because of you guys. So, I can't do this by myself. So I got to have a panel, a round table, the round table with us. Fifth quarter Cowboys. My Cowboys family. Well, man, he knocked out all the power in Alabama from all the way from Texas. Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Guys, Cowboys making trades, grades. You know we're going to do all that right here. We're going to raid YouTube tonight. I can't think of anything that rhymes tonight, all right? So let's go ahead and get into this right here. Cowboys, blockbuster, whatever you want to call it, stole the whole show. Trading for Michael Bennett from the New England Patriots, who just came off a game suspension with the Patriots. Bill Belichick gave him up for a seventh-round pick to Jerry Jones. I don't know what number he's going to wear. 72's taken, 77's taken, and I don't know what he wore with the Eagles because I don't pay no mind to the Eagles. So, I don't know. He can wear 69 for all I care. But no, Michael Bennett's traded. And I didn't do no video. You know, I don't consider this breaking news. I'm just about it. You know, he's 33 years old. You know, he's on the wrong side of 30s. You know, but you know, I'll be, you know, a hypocrite because I was happy Jason Witten came back, and he's a well over the wrong side of 30s. But I'm just show me what you can do. It's a low risk move. You know, 7th round pick, super low risk move. And if he, you know, we only got 8 games with him. You know, the guy speaks his mind, has a mind of its own. You know, if we have a 3-game losing streak again, God forbid we do that, this guy could become a cancer. That's one of my worst fears. But if he can bring something to the football team for a 7th round pick, I'll take every ounce of it. Fifth quarter Cowboys, what was your reaction, and what do you think about the move for Michael Bennett?
Can y'all hear me?
Nope, we sure can't.
Was like, I think you the one called me with the news. I think you the one told me about it. And
Debatable.
like I said then when you told me it, you know, it was a decent move because you got a veteran that knows. I don't care where you put Michael Bennett, he's gonna get back there. He's just gonna do it. He's just another fast guy on the defense. You know, in the Eagles, people gotta understand. People try to say he didn't do nothing. Look, Bill Belichick does not blitz. It's just not what he do. Michael Bennett wasn't allowed to do what he does with New England. You know, he made his money over there in Seattle. That's where he really made his money at. You know, a new system. You know, he's used to Chris Richard, and like I told you when you broke the news, how much worse can it really be? On the interior, as of right now, inside, he's probably one of the best guys we got, besides Malik Collins. You could do that all you want. The numbers say it all, man. 3-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. The damn dude, he damn near got 70 sacks, man. So Michael Bennett is who he is. You know, a lot of people is criticizing him and ain't even watched him play besides when he played the Cowboys. I watch all football. I watch Michael Bennett play a lot of football. And this day and age, you need speed. Antoine Woods, fat ass slow. Malik Collins, he's good. He's gonna do his job, but he has a speed issue. Michael Bennett is a beast with the hands, and he's shifty, he will get back there. That's no doubt. You got DeMarcus Lawrence on one end, Robert Quinn on another end. You're gonna put he's versatile. He can play all across the board when it comes to the defensive front. He's versatile, man. You can put him where you want to put him, and he's gonna get the job done. So, like I said, I don't see how it could be any worse than what we already got. You know what I'm saying? Any other guy you put in there, Tristan Hill, Covington, whoever else you can name, we could put in there. They're not better than Michael Bennett. Nowhere near it. You know, this is a veteran, 3-time Pro Bowler, knows what he's doing. Been in the league since 2009. Yeah, he's aging, but he's still playing ball. You know, Jason Witten's also in his damn. So you're gonna criticize him, criticize Witten. And like I said, how bad can it get? Michael Bennett is a good move, man. We every week we find ourselves talking about how the quarterback has too much time to throw, how Tank can't get to the quarterback, how, you know what I'm saying, Robert Quinn has been the best defensive end. You know what I'm saying? We just got spot fillers most on the defense. You got Robert Quinn, you got Malik Collins, DeMarcus Lawrence. Everybody else is just spot fillers, in my opinion. Well, Tyrone Crawford, but he's out. Everybody else is spot fillers, you know. Antoine Woods, he ain't shit. Covington, he ain't shit. These guys ain't hitting no shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You need a guy like Michael Bennett. You need a guy. If they double in Tank, what does that mean for everybody else? If they double in Quinn, what does that mean for everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a good move, man. It's just another guy the defense got to worry about. It's just another guy the defense got to worry about, and that's what we need, man. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you're saying he's versatile. Real quick, I got a question for you, real quick. I know he played the 3 and the left end spot. Where we're hurting is the 1. So can he play the 1?
That's not where we're hurting. Where we're hurting is getting to the quarterback, period.
He can play the 1.
And I told you the other night he can play the 1.
Yeah.
He can play the 1, but he's less effective at the 1.
I told you he can
But he's less effective at the 1.
We don't know in our scheme yet, though.
Anyways, you're worried about numbers and positions. We just need to get to the quarterback. I don't give a damn where yet.
Exactly.
I don't care about playing the 1 or we don't hurt. We don't hurt that. We just hurt getting back there. Period.
Mm-hmm.
The defensive ends can't get there. Interior guys can't get there. Offensive line getting up to the second level of blocking. It don't matter. We hurting. Period. Michael Bennett anywhere on that line while DeMarcus Lawrence and Robert Quinn is out there is a big help for us. Period. I don't care if he's at the 1 or the 3. It's going to help us out because of who he is and what he does. His age, it don't matter. Michael Bennett is still effective, man. And like I said, sometimes just your name carry enough weight, it puts somebody on notice. So you can't double team everybody. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? You're gonna have a tight end there. You're gonna have your tight end and your running back trying to block. Like it helps us, man. I like the move.
So I guess I got another question. You guys can chime in and give you guys reaction here very, very soon. But okay, so if he's more effective at the 3, right? That's where Malik Collins is. So are you gonna bench Malik Collins and put in Michael Bennett?
What's wrong with rotation?
Can somebody answer me that?
What's wrong with rotation?
It's going to be a rotative type thing. I think Malik Collins is still going to start. They're probably going to put him on the other side. Michael Bennett, I've watched film. I watched film pretty much all day. I mean, all last night, and I watched film. I got up and watched film this morning, and I wrote some things down. I guess I'll go ahead and go. I wrote some things down that I saw his strengths that he's good at, and I saw for myself. First thing I will say before I really get into it is Michael Bennett is a 4-3 guy, and the Pats are a 3-4 defense. So that's probably why they weren't able to really be successful at using him like he's used to. He can play every position on the defensive line. Where he's effective, we don't know yet because he hasn't played in our scheme yet. But ability is ability. Let's see. He'll be in the nickel. I saw him really good at nickel. On the nickel, he'll be a DE in the nickel. He was a DE in the nickel playing for Seattle a lot. He has the ability to extend his hands and control blockers, can really overpower blockers. He's really, really strong. Him being 6'4", I don't really care about his age. I think his experience alone is enough. His presence alone, like DJ said, 6'4", 275, and really, really strong. Still quick at getting around the corner as playing a defensive end. Has good feel for working and shooting gaps as well to stop the run. So a lot of times we're in a nickel defense and we're going to need him out there because we've been struggling when we're in nickel defense because, hell, that's what we start off playing anyway. 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 secondary guys. So we need a guy like him while we're in the nickel, which since he's successful in the nickel, to be able to stop the run. We've been having problems on the inside stopping the run, and that's been our downfall. Getting around the corner, that hasn't been our issue. Getting to the quarterback has. Quinn has been doing an okay, kind of consistent job. D-Law just kind of showed up last week against the Eagles. Hopefully he can stay in that rhythm, but against the Giants coming up after the bye, he doesn't give up on the play. Played all of the positions, and that's coming from the Patriots too. So, but they ran a 3-4, so he's a 4-3 guy. This is kind of one of those things where you got to kind of wait and see. I'm glad the Cowboys picked him up because we do need something different on this team, some different type of dog on this team. The only issue a lot of people are having with this guy is in the locker room and off the field and things like that. So hopefully the Dallas Cowboys can control and manage that and clean that up a little bit. And hopefully he's learned and focused and grown up a little bit just from, being released and all that stuff. But I think it's an okay move by the Cowboys. I'm not going to get really just too excited about it, too bubbly about it, because he hasn't played a snap yet. When he gets that first sack, that's when first, second, third sack, then we can start be like, okay, that was a good move by the Cowboys. But right now, we just got to kind of take it for what it is because it's Michael Bennett. He's got 11 years experience on him. He has the reputation for being disruptive on the field. And that's what we need. We need somebody with that reputation because right now, our defensive front four is struggling. We did a really good job against the Eagles, but we could have did a good job against, the Saints and the Dolphins and the Jets as well. And y'all know the defensive line is a domino effect. If they don't perform well, the whole defense is going to not be able to perform too good. So having him is a hopefully going to be a plus for us, and we hope and pray that he helps this defense, this whole defense, entire defense, not just the front four, but the whole defense. You're going to see a lot of alternating with this guy, so because we still got Woods, we still got guys, and him being able to play all 4 positions is great because if somebody gets hurt, plug him in, But we'll see. Like I say, this is not something to get too gun ho about. It's a move that caught us all off guard, and it's something that we kind of need as the defensive line. We've been trying to address this since the beginning of the season. So even when we was winning those games against the Giants and the Redskins and the Dolphins, we still, all 3 can agree that we still had trouble getting to the quarterback. So, but that's all I got, man, on Michael Bennett. Go ahead, man.
No, good points. 1980, good points, 5th quarter Cowboys. My Cowboys family, you're at the batter's box for the World Series. Don't choke, all right? Don't be Houston Astros.
We will not. That's a guarantee. You go first.
Well, again, I will say, first of all, I was very surprised. I didn't think the Cowboys would make a move like this, and I'm glad that the Cowboys at least, recognize their biggest position of need, because honestly, they could have technically, I guess, traded for any other position, maybe even a safety, right? And we wouldn't have thought that was too crazy, but I do think that the defensive tackle is where we need the help. But from the sounds of it, it seems like it was one of those things where kind of like the Randall Cobb thing, like the stars aligned in that 24-hour period and we managed to sign him. Seems like something similar happened here where obviously we needed someone in that position and the Patriots had a little bit of a surplus because he wasn't being used properly there. Like you guys all said, they run a 3-4. He just wasn't getting the kind of play time that he normally would, and he wasn't as effective as he normally would be. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons why he's going to shine here. This is the type of guy that Marinelli not only wants but needs. Position-wise, I know you guys are big fans of him at the 1, but I think like Haley94 Ware said in the chat, just like Malik Collins, he, in the 3 is where he shines, and I think it's going to be a rotation between both of them. Like, there's going to be certain looks where they're definitely going to want Bennett over Malik Collins, and I'm not really sure exactly when that's going to be because I think they're both better at the pass. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's going to be fun to see them play off of each other. But the thing about him is that he basically, like, if you look at his stats, he has a sack at, like, every position. So even though I think he's going to be better there, I do expect the Cowboys to kind of play around with him and move some guys around. Again, we saw by necessity, we moved Tank to the right side. We had Kerry Hyder. So I know it was kind of a by necessity thing, but we saw a little bit of production as some things happen. So maybe once we have more pieces that can move around a little more, I'm just saying, I think we'll be able to see, some great things from there. But I expect some good things from Michael Bennett. And, I'm glad that the Cowboys made a move for him, especially considering how cheap we got him.
That's the key.
We're basically getting him for a steal. And we're getting a guy that's coming in here, I think, with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, especially against some teams they're going to play. The fact that Chris Richard is here makes me, rest a little easier knowing that he's played with him before. And, I don't know. What do you think, baby?
Listen, everything you guys are saying are fantastic. I want to make sure that when we discuss this, you think about some specific things about Michael Bennett. I am more excited, I think, than, let's say, DCFN is about this and some of the other guys here, because I believe, number one, if he implodes, listen, to get right now he's a 7th round pick in 2021, but it's going to just forget about it. It's going to be a 6th round pick because he has to be active for 4 games I think he has been in a 53 squad for 4 games the rest of the season. So, and then it's a 6th round pick. So that's a done deal. It's a 6th round pick. He can pretty much, unless he implodes right away, he's going to be for 4 weeks in this season and beyond that. So 6th round pick is still a great deal for someone like Michael Bennett, who, if I'm going to go with the worst here, if he implodes and can't, and it kind of, is he going to be a cancer in the locker room? I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because we already have the nucleus of our team here. We have the leaders on this team here already. So he's an addition to the other turbo boosters we got on this team. He's an addition. He's not a necessity, in the sense of, we didn't get him to like we have to feed off of him. And he's the leader of the defense. That's
we're not looking to him to be the guy to lead us through a struggle or something. We're looking to him to be an addition to
additional
the
help
team that we have.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So just as an addition, only again, he has a certain job to fill here. You asked earlier if he was going to be starting. I don't think he's going to start, and it's more of a just like who's the first guy. It's like Sean Lee's a starter, but he really don't play more than 20% most of the time when you have the nickel defense out there. We have 2 linebackers. So, is he a starter? Who knows? But percentage-wise, he was playing 36% of the snaps in New England. That's why he's up there screaming and yelling. I think he's going to get a little bit more than that with us, and he's going to be using a 4-3. He's the kind of guy that he fits in. If you get him in the right defense, he will do well for you. He's shown that last year. I know you guys. I know DCFN's like, well, what's the big? Listen, 9 sacks last year, DCFN. 9 sacks with the Eagles in a 4-3, and that's not like 20 years ago. That's not like 6 years ago. That's like last year. He had 78 pressures last year. That's including playoffs. Tank had 66. I just put it out. That was last year. So look at those numbers, right? And he was playing. He got 2.5 sacks from the one defensive end, 3.5 on the other defensive end. Beyonce said he gets them all over, mainly not really the 1 tech. That's the one spot we don't have, but the 3 tech. He gets like 3.5 sacks last year out of these 9. So the coaches give him a little more kind of like Sean Lee on the defensive line. He's able to read the defense. He's very good at that. So he'll shift himself in or out depending on the way the offense is lining up and what they watch that in film study. So the fact that he gets to the freedom to play going upfield, attacking the quarterback, even though he's going to help in the run, he's pass rushing specialist, and he can go inside or outside. And to me, if he has to occupy blocks, if he has to take up guys like a 1 tech, that's when he's less effective. That's when he's a little bit would be at his worst. But I'm saying this is like the very few times I think you're going to see this happen with him. I think he's mainly going to be used as a 3. When you go to a 3rd and 8, you're going to have Collins out there at whatever tech. I don't care what you call it. This guy here is a 3. Michael Bennett is a 3 tech under. You guys know that? Remember that? Who loves that? That's Rob Marinelli, right? Who wanted to draft that in the draft in the second round? Marinelli, and he got Tristan Hill. This shows that Tristan Hill, obviously not ready yet. It was an overreach, an overpick by Marinelli. I put that on him. And then you look at Joe Jackson, Daniel Wise. They're the guys. They're not ready yet either. So this is a direct, input at the 3-tech under spot. Not all the time, but some of the time. And when he's in there, he's going to be pass rush downs with Quinn on one at the right defensive end, Tank at the left defensive end. You're going to have 4 guys now. It's not a deep end situation. It's the nickel, or you're going to have 4 down linemen. And then in the middle, you're going to have Malik Collins, and you're going to have Michael Bennett. And I love it. I love this trade. I think it's a win-win for us. Can't lose. And that is a huge victory here in the bye week for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Mr. Fiance coming in with high expectations for Michael Bennett. Okay, so I heard everybody talk. I was here before I started the round table. I'm about here after everybody's points. I'm about the same. It's one of those go prove me right or go prove me wrong. Go prove me wrong for sure. What kind of thing? Like 1980 said, it's a wait and see kind of move. But I am kind of excited to see how Marinelli is going to use a guy at this caliber. I mean, maybe he can bring it, maybe he can't. 5th quarter Cowboys, are you snoozing or are you up?
Do the damn show, boy.
Hey, I'm just checking on you, brother. Make sure we're still alert here. You might want to stand up, do some breathing controls or something like that. But let's talk about grades. The first half grades here. Cowboys 4-3. I was thinking about maybe doing 3 players on each side of the ball. But I kind of want to grade the coaching staff first and then kind of get into the players of it all. 5th quarter Cowboys, I'll start with you, man. Grades for these coaching staffs for this 4-3 football team.
A D.
And that's your bra size? That's what you like? Explain.
The coaches get a D, man. I mean, hell,
4?
You open against the Giants. You look indestructible. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you beating up on the weak. You know what I'm saying? You play against Washington again. You know, you have a crazy game, and then you play against the Dolphins, and it's 31-6, and then you go to New Orleans and you go against a well-respected coach in Sean Payton. You get beat by field goals. You go up against a first-year coach up there in Green Bay. What is LaFleur? Is that the right coach? I don't know. Anyways, whatever Green Bay coach is. First year, I think. I'm not sure. You lose. Then you go up against the Giants. I don't know who their coach is. And you lose. Not the Giants, the Jets. I don't know who their coach is, but it's the Jets. And you lose. So when you're going up against the Giants coach, the Redskins coach, the Dolphins coach, you look indestructible. Then you go to Sean Payton. And you lose the field goals. Then you go to Green Bay. And see, it's kind of hard to separate the two because it's not all on the coaches, but just for his coaching period, managing the game, 3rd downs, 4th downs, what you do on those 3rd downs and 4th downs, play a big factor. And you go up there and you lose convincingly to the Jets. So then you come back and you beat the Eagles. 37-10. But you still get a D from me because you get a D because we win this game, but then you look at the schedule and you like, man, I know the players I got, but don't worry about these coaches. Like, if every year we got to say we got to outplay the coaches, what's the common denominator? So as of right now, They get a D from me, man. Nothing more. They don't deserve nothing more.
Oh, shots fired with the D's. Throw some D's on Abbott. Just bought a Cadillac. Dallas Cowboy fan 1980.
That's right.
What's now get what is your grade for the coaches? Not the team, not the players. Right now, we're straight coaches right now.
Coaches now so far.
And 4-3 team, yes.
Okay. I don't like giving grades. I'll say I probably have to agree with DJ. I'd say a D for the simple fact of starting off the season like we did. We looked unstoppable. We looked amazing. Gave our fan base all hope. And we really got – I mean, we're always behind our team, win, lose, or draw. But at that time, those first 3 games were – I mean, we were running, we were passing. Defense was better than it got when we played the Saints before we went on a 3-game losing streak. After that, obviously, it was inconsistent. A lot of things were inconsistent. The true colors kind of start coming out when we played the Saints. That was a winnable game. That whole game was a coaching. It was coaching. Execution as well, but we were out-coached because of the simple fact that, like DJ just said, they beat us with field goals. We couldn't even get a touchdown. I mean, did we score? Did we score a touchdown? Yeah. We only scored 1 touchdown and kicked a field goal. It was 12-10. That's right. We only got 1 touchdown. And for us not to even get in field goal range to beat them by 1 point was embarrassing. And then we lose again against Green Bay. That was also a winnable. Every game's a winnable game. If any game that we should have lost, it was probably against the Packers just because of Aaron Rodgers and how great he is and how calm he is in the pocket. He's just like we all say, he's just like a surgeon back there. He just pick you apart. And our struggling defense didn't have no chance against that. And we proved it. And that's why we got so upset when we lost to the Saints, because we saw what was coming ahead. We already saw. We've been watching the Cowboys for years, decades. And once they lose that first game, they're vulnerable. Their coaching staff is vulnerable. And that's where it starts. If your coaching staff is predictable and vulnerable, your team is going to be, your players are going to be. And you can tell there was a switch in command in the play calling. So that inconsistency right there alone was enough to blame the coaches. And give them a D. The players could have executed a lot better as well. Because, like I always say at times, the players have to outplay the coaching staff. And they didn't do it those 3 games. We should at least won 2 of those games. There should have been no reason why we lost to the Jets and to the Saints. No reason at all whatsoever. I still say that to this day, even though that's considered the past. But those games we should have won. Jets. But the lack of inconsistency in the coaching staff and their play calling and lack of aggressiveness and which trickles down to the players, gives them a low grade like that. I'm not going to base it off the Eagle game because every game you should win. Realistically, you're not going to win, but games like that, you should win. We were kind of counted out. Everybody thought since we were on that 3-game losing streak, everybody thought we were going to lose again against the Eagles because everybody rides Carson Wentz's nut sacks and so on. So they thought we were going to lose that too, but we won. We came out and we were aggressive. Whole different ball game. There was a change in play calling again. You could tell. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on there. I hate to stretch it out like that, but I just have to paint a picture as in why we're giving them a D. Could be lower. I think me in 5th quarter probably being nice, because we can play better. Even the game against the Eagles, we could have played better. Could have played a lot better. But penalty. Oh, another thing. I forgot. I left this out. Penalties. That's lack of discipline on the coaching staff. There we go. You know what I'm saying? So action reflect leadership. So whatever you don't do in practice, the players are not going to do on the field. Bottom line. That's why I'm glad that they picked up, Bennett, and hopefully he'll make a change and get some dog into these guys, into the coaching staff, whatever. But I know that's a past topic. But I give it about a D. I was gonna say C, but I wasn't gonna be nice to him. I'm gonna go ahead and be realistic and give him a D. Fuck it.
All right, so we got double D's on the scene. You know what I mean? My Cowboys family, just the coaches, no players, no medical staff, strictly coaches. What's the grade?
Crispy and clean. Yeah, I'll take that.
So
we got double D's on the scene. What you got?
Yeah, I did. Yep. All right, got it.
There you go. Sorry, we're muted on our side. So at least for me, I would say overall for all the coaches, a C. Individually, Kellen Moore and Chris Richard, I think, also get C's. Garrett gets a D. But Marinelli, for me, gets a big fat F. And I'm going to, I guess, go through that. So overall, I think the coaches get a C, C minus, because you guys said it. The inconsistencies, the lack of figuring out the direction this team is supposed to go in. A lot of things just don't make sense for the type of talent that we have. But the thing is that we are still first in our division. We, still managed to beat some of the teams that we were supposed to beat. And honestly, before the season started, the Saints game and the Packers game were kind of 50-50 when, if you ask the general fan base, like, do you think we're going to win or lose? Like, those were possible losing games. The Jets one is the one where we all agree is unacceptable. That's the one where it's just straight up coaching, and that's where it gets me to the rest of it. Kellen Moore, again, I give him a C because when, you can clearly see what Kellen Moore is doing, there's still times where, again, you see the slow starts. You see certain things where you're like, why aren't we, using Pollard and Zeke more? Why aren't we doing certain things more? Yeah. But I'm willing to see the growth in him, and I see the good things that are working. I still have to give him a C because of Garrett. I'm going to talk about that a little later. But again, Chris Richard, similar things. I see what they're trying to do, but the fact that Jordan Lewis just started his first game this week is reprehensible. I hate the fact that there's still a chance that he might not be a starter in the future. But the point is that I see what they're trying to do, and I feel like the secondary has been hurt the most by what the front line hasn't been able to do and by our linebacker. You know what I mean? I feel like the secondary overall has been doing their jobs but struggling more because of the fact that, the D-line and our linebackers weren't playing as well. You saw them play better. We saw them play better. Garrett, I hate to say it, but the more involved Garrett got, we saw what happened with our offense. Garrett allowed certain things to happen throughout the season that I'm not a fan of. There were certain decisions that I didn't like. One of those fourth downs was dumb. Overall, just frustrated with what Garrett was doing and the fact that it felt like he was holding Kellen Moore and the team back, and Marinelli. Holy shit, Marinelli. What is going on? I mean, it blows my mind the way that some of our defense is structured, and you can't help but feel, just like Garrett and Marinelli are the two guys that have been here the longest, that are the establishment of this team. It's like, I can't help but feel that Marinelli has a lot to do with the reason that some things on our defense weren't working. That's it.
I mean, listen,
I give him an F because, again, no one expected our defense to play the way they were. I feel like our defense was the biggest surprise coming into the season. A lot of these losses came down to the fact that our defense managed to kind of F it up again.
Coaches' grades. Coaches' grades.
Last year, we thought we all had high expectations, judging off the defense from last season. The way we played, we were off the train last year. We were top 5 defense in the league. And now it's just like,
well, and
that's why I would put that more on Marinelli, and that's why I gave him an F. And those are my coach's grades.
And I'm gonna. You did it. I think she did a great breakdown of the grades of this, whether you say a D or a C minus, whatever it may be. I do think. I'm gonna say this. If you can have here a decent mix of Garrett and Kellen Moore. Because let's be real, that's as good as it's going to get. It's just the percentage of the mix is what is it going to be. And here's what I'm trying to say. When you see that play by Tavon Austin, that touchdown, right? You see what he did out there. That is an obvious Kellen Moore play. All right, that's where you're giving your offense a better chance to make up any mistakes because of the misdirection going on in that play, the options you have in that play. That is not Garrett. We know this. We've seen it for 10 years. So when you go back a week before that against the Jets and you see Romo, you hear Romo say what he said. There's footprints all over here from Garrett. That means that Garrett, whether you like his footprints or not, he's not allowing Moore to be more involved. So I look at it as you have a mannequin. And that's Jason Garrett's mannequin. It's the offense. You got Marinelli. That's his defense. Okay, so you got the offensive mannequin and the defensive mannequin. You got to let Kellen Moore dress it up more. You got to let him put a little more than just one crease in there. You got to put a bunch of creases. You got to put a bunch of wrinkles in there. I think the more you can see Kellen Moore's offense working in the basic scheme, the basic thought process of Garrett. You have to, but he has to allow him to do it. If he holds him back, this is going to be bad for the future. So see an average. Some of these guys you give a little bit higher for being young, like Kellen Moore. Some of these guys Fiance did a great job of pointing out the good and bad on both. So I don't really take any much farther than that. But I do think that if we allow Richard to have a little more hidden, deceptive defensive blitzes like we did with Jordan Lewis, and of course playing out there on offense, you have more deceptive and option kind of
maybe he will be more involved
stuff.
Because Michael Bennett being there, maybe he will be a little more involved just naturally now that he's there. Maybe he'll have a little more back and forth with Marinelli.
I think that you're going to see with Bennett being a three tech under tackle, and he's going to be able to, I think he's going to add. The one thing we know he can do is rush the quarterback. He's going to be disruptive in the run. So these are big factors to pumping up the defensive coaches to be able to hopefully come up with even more aggressive scheme, not blitzing, but make sure those front four get pressure to relax on the back defensive on the backside. And I think that's how you're gonna see this defense get better. And these coaches on defense, I think, are gonna mix together better. That's my hope.
All right, my coach's grades. Are y'all ready for this? I hope y'all ready. Get your popcorn ready.
We're ready.
I give Kellen Moore a B. I give Rod Marinelli. I'll give him a C minus. Chris Richard. I give Chris Richard. I'll give Chris Richard a solid B minus, because when things are going wrong, Chris Richard is still talking to his guys, communicating, trying to fix it. We see it all the time on sounds of the sidelines. We see it all the time while we're watching the football game. If we're at the football game, Chris Richard is a competitor and he hates to lose. And sometimes execution takes away from that. So I give him a B minus there. Jason Garrett, I give Jason Garrett a solid B. And here's why. There was a video going around, with Jason Garrett's players not, giving him high fives coming off the sideline after making a big stop against the Jets, right? And right then and there, the headline to that video on a bunch of articles was, Garrett lost the team. Garrett's done. Garrett's fired. Garrett's this. Garrett's that. But he kept the same tempo, the same energy as he does week in and week out, and they go and take a big win against these Philadelphia Eagles. Now, if you would have lost that game, Jason Garrett, to the Eagles, you're going to get an F for me. But you held it together. You're getting asked by reporters week in, week out your job status. You got fans, who I'm one of them, saying, get your ass out of Dallas. We need to fire you. Jerry Jones on radio, what about Jason Garrett? Is he going to get fired? After all that, from a 3-week loss in a row, you still managed to hold your team together and lead them to a victory against a big-time, must-win, first place in the midseason in the NFC East. Solid B, Jason Garrett, that's what he gets for me this year for half the season.
I didn't get to get Chris Richard and Marinelli grades.
We just did the whole team. The whole.
So,
what you got for me? Fifth quarter?
Oh yeah, being the fact that I forgot to get on to that grade, but in my book, they both get a D.
My ass.
Both of them.
1980. What about you?
I thought we were just doing the whole coaching staff.
That's what I thought. Hell,
that was just average. I just averaged it out, and it came up to be a D. You know, I got my calculator out and everything, and I just did some.
That's what I did.
That's what happened.
I took it the other way when you guys said it. I thought you meant like grade the coaching staff, like the coach.
Hey, there's 5 minds on here. If I word something wrong, it gets interpreted 5 different ways. So there's that.
It was 5 damn good answers, I'll say that.
Exactly.
This is my thing. I'm just gonna keep it the way I had it. The way I graded. Okay. The reason why I gave the grade that I gave was because of the most important word, inconsistency. It took us 3 games to lose for the Dallas Cowboys to figure out that a 4-6 defense is good for our defense to run. When we played the Eagles, you could tell when they brought Jeff Heath up in the box, it worked. And that was basically a 4-6 defense that we were running. It might not have been designed that way, but that's what it looked like. That's what it was. Pretty much, that's what it was. It might have said, not designed, but it might have said in the playbook when they were calling plays, but it was a basic 4-3 defense. You have to be able to use your players' strengths at the right time. And their management skills have been a little off, especially those 3 games that we lost. I think they took those teams for granted, and we were severely underprepared for those games. That's why we lost them, because we were out-coached and we weren't prepared mentally as well. The inconsistency in this play calling, especially on the defense, was and the defense is the biggest problem in this team because we're scoring 20, 30 points a game. So scoring is not an issue for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't even think we have a problem really, not too much with the offense with, maybe Zeke getting more yards and, balls getting thrown right and catching and all that stuff. But those things happen. I mean, it's a football game. Quarterbacks are not going to be perfect every throw. Receivers are not going to make every catch. That's what's going, that's life. You get what I'm saying? But this defense is really the concern because defense wins ball games anyway. But just the inconsistency and them having to lose 3 games just to figure out what works. That's what bothers me. That's what really bothers me because those are games. It takes after a 3-game loss, all 3 of those games, for us to finally adjust and run a defense that puts our players in the best position with their attributes to work. And that's what bothers me about this coaching staff. They wait too damn long. You can do that in the middle of a game. You can do that in the second half. It doesn't take after a game to figure out what's going on and seeing the same mistakes over and over. And it's not just the players making the same mistakes in the NFL. It's in college too. I was watching the Notre Dame game just a minute ago before we went live. And the cornerback got called pass interference twice in a row for not looking back. He was holding the receiver. He got called pass interference twice. And that's what led Michigan to score. Until this coaching staff realized that you have to put your players in the best position to not fuck up, we're going to have problems because if they keep this, what's the word I'm looking for? If they keep this just playing the man, if they keep this up, penalties are going to beat us faster than the other team. And that's what's been, if you think about why we lost those games, I think we're all leaving out the penalties. Look at all the penalties we've been getting back to back to back to back. Just penalties left and right out the ass. And they will beat you faster than the other team. And I think if we can clean that up a little bit and make some adjustments on defense and stopping the run, because when you stop the run, it makes the team one-dimensional and you're able to kind of cheat a little bit and do different things on defense, But you got to be able to stop somebody first. And we did it against the Eagles. We looked pretty good. I'm not going to say we looked great, but we looked good against the Eagles. But we're going, even when we was winning those games, and when you look back, we still kind of critiqued and we still found things that was wrong with the defense. So That's why I gave my grade was a D, just because of the inconsistency alone and the lack of discipline. Those two things, and coaches not adjusting and still teaching the same BS, in the secondary. But that's
in a way for me. It's like a. I know Law Nation something like this the other day that it's like a square, like a circular, like a square piece into like a circular hole. When it's like Richard's defense and his style is trying to fit into the Marinelli type defense. But you also had a good thing about the.
Well, yeah, it's hard staff for me to rate them any higher than a C when we're 4-3. I mean, that's
4-3
that's a little bit above average,
yeah.
right? Like a C is basically average. Like 5-2, probably a B. 6-1, probably an A. Anything less than that is an F because. Right? I mean, it just our expectations were higher, and a lot of it, again, the big part of that does have to do with the defense, which is why I think the defensive coaches should get a little more.
But we do have to remember. I know we're going to players now. We're going to move on with DCFN here taking over. But I do think that when we talk about New Orleans game and that kind of stuff, you see a lot of execution errors when it comes to fumbling the ball, like Witten and that kind of. Those are those field goals you wanted.
Could have won the game.
Yeah, those are. I mean, if we had 5 or 6 errors in that game that were execution based, and that's what really made the difference in that game. But also was the restricted game plan. That also is both things that killed us. But even if that's what I'm saying with Garrett, there's less room for error with Jason Garrett. More room for error when you have more of Kellen Moore style, in my opinion. So I'm sorry. Back to you, DCFN.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. For time's sake, I was going to do offense and defense, but we're going to kind of merge them together now. Fifth quarter Cowboys, I'll start with you. Offense and defense and special teams. Go ahead, throw some players out there and throw some concerns out there, man. What you got for us?
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Special teams. They get a flat out F for me. Hands down, they suck. Special teams suck. Last year and the year before that, they were killing. They were killing last year and year before that. Every time on punt return, Kayvon be there laying somebody down, man. Justin Marsh Lillard would be there laying somebody down, or it's just not happening no more, man. The best player out there on the field be Chris Jones, and hell, I ain't even gonna get into that, but special teams get an F for me, man. It's just not who the special team coach. I don't know. It's just not. It don't do it for me, man. They just not what we were. You know what I'm saying? Like we were really, really, really good at that. We can't tackle nobody no more. You know what I'm saying? It's just not good. Special teams just isn't good. It's just that simple. They get an F for me, man. They got to improve. They're not good to me at all. Like I said, last couple of years, some of the team, one of the returners catch the ball, we there laying them out, or we make them call fair catch. It's just not what it was, man. You know what I'm saying? So they get an F for me. Whoever the coach is, I don't know, whoever he is, he get an F too. Offense through 4 and 3. It's so hard, man, because so many things, like 1980 said, penalties and play calling, and it's so hard. So
you got to think about. I'm gonna say this real quick before you make a decision. You got to think about how the coaches put what type of position the coaches put them in to make. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll say this. In my opinion, the highest graded person on the offense is Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Dak is the highest graded person on the offense to me. So off rip, I'm giving Dak Prescott. I'm gonna give Dak a B plus right now. It's like a high B. It's like an 89. I'm gonna give him almost an A.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He deserved it. Shit, the kid, he
doing it.
We did quarterback sneak. Normally, you get the quarterback sneak and you fall. This some bitch tried to run for more yards. Dak, he's relentless, man.
You're doing it.
I think the Jets, the way he got beat up versus the Jets, was worse than the Falcons game 2 years ago. He said that's the worst he felt since he played against Alabama. He said his body was shot after he got beat up bad in that game. I mean, late hits, man. Rough in the path, they wasn't called. And all over the place. And every time when we're down, who brings us back? I don't care how these talking heads get on TV and talk about he bring us back in garbage minutes. I don't care what they say. That don't mean shit to me. Every time we was down, I mean, whether we had 3 or we had 0, Dak Prescott, his legs or his arms, he brings us back, even with the poor coaching that happens. Dude, 4th and 2, and you run Dak to the side where you have the least field. His leading blocker is your $50 million running back. I still can't get over that. You run it to the side where your starting left tackle isn't even playing, and his leading blocker is your run. I just can't get over that.
Yeah.
But I gotta separate him. You know what I'm saying, and single him out because he deserves it. Like I said, he get a B plus. It's a very high B, man, because he ain't even paid yet.
No.
He's playing better than everybody has been paid. He's playing better than Zeke. He's playing better than D-Law. He's playing better than that expensive ass offensive line. He's playing better than Jalen Smith. Like Dak Prescott is playing better than all these guys, every last one of them. And unless you got numbers to prove me otherwise, don't debate me. Because Dak Prescott is still ranked amongst the top quarterbacks. He still has the best QBR in the NFL right now.
Right now.
He still has the best QBR, even in the NFL, more than even than the highest paid quarterbacks. He still has the best. You can pull it. You can go on your computer and look up what you want, boy. But until you prove numbers that anybody on this team has played better than Dak Prescott, don't debate me. So Dak Prescott gets a high B. Now, offensive line, they missed a couple games here, there. This O-line as a whole, I'm gonna give them a C plus. And it's because Tyron Smith is having more holding calls in these games. Like, I don't know what's going on. Zeke gets a B minus from me. Michael Gallup, B minus. Amari Cooper gets an A. So Jason Witten, he gets a B. Blake Jarwin, C. Dalton Schultz gets a goddamn D. And at the offense overall, now I'm gonna get a whole offense overall a B minus. So defensively, man, defensively, DeMarcus Lawrence gets a C from me. I should give his ass an F. D-Law gets a C. Robert Quinn gets a B plus. Malik Collins, C minus. Antoine Woods, goddamn D. I don't even know who else be out there with them. Jalen Smith, he gets a B minus. Van Der Esch, C plus. Byron Jones gets an A because nobody throws to his side. Cheeto Bayawuzie gets a C minus. Xavier Woods gets a C plus. Jeff Heath, C minus. Anthony Brown, C minus. Sean Lee, I give Sean Lee a C plus, man. Defense overall, as of right now, they are bend but don't break. So I'm gonna use that B in that bend and give them a B minus. And that's it for me. So, yep, that's it.
All right. Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Special teams, as collectively, not just returners, right? You still got a kicker, you still got a punter. Offense and defense.
Okay, I'll shorten it up a little bit. I won't go player by player. Well, I'll probably talk about Dak and Zeke a little bit, but I'll try to go as fast as possible. My Cowboys family football news. Let's start with the special teams. Special teams is going to be special teams. They're not going to ever be an A. They're never going to be an A. Now, I look at special teams and kicker differently. Now, our kicker, Maher, I'll give him probably like a C plus, or maybe I'll give him a C plus. He's made some big kicks for us. He's missed some big kicks for us. I got to give him that. I mean, he broke a record, had the most 6-some yard kicks. So I got to give him that. There's nobody else out there. He's the best kicker we got. So he's been pretty good for us. He's missed some close ones, some 30-yarders, but he's made some 60-yarders, kind of made up for that. So I'll give him about a C plus, maybe a B minus. I'll talk about the offense first. O-line, for injury's sake, I'll probably give them a C. Maybe if they were healthier, they would probably be in the B plus range. But since they've been out, a lot of guys have been out, been hurt. So I got to get them around maybe like a C minus. I give them a C minus because they could play a lot better if they were at least close to 100%. A lot of guys are playing hurt, so you got to put injury into a factor when you're talking about the O-line because they're not healthy. Probably never will be again. Running game. Obviously Zeke and Pollard. I'll give Zeke we've seen the better Zeke. We've all five of us on this panel have seen a better Zeke. 2016-17 was a lot better Zeke, faster, quicker, more powerful. Now it seems like we have the Washington Wizard, Michael Jordan Zeke. Still has the ability. You can still see it here and there at times.
I like that analogy. That's good.
But for when Jordan came back that last time when he was at the Wizards, he played with a lot of this. He didn't have the tongue and jumping from the free throw line and all that stuff. But he played with this, and he still can, he still can make it happen, even though he doesn't have the, that's the kind of Zeke I think we got right now. A guy that can still be the best running back in the league, but it seems like he's holding back. He doesn't have that burst to where that 2016 burst he had. Obviously you get older, father time, but he's not that old. So Cowboy Nation is trying to figure out what's going on with him. I don't know if it's Cabo holding out or whatever. But I give him about a C plus, man. That's probably pretty much all he deserves right now because he could be a lot better than what he is. And he has Pollard to take up some of the slack too. So him being tired and all that shit, that's not a factor with Zeke because we got Pollard. So they haven't been using Pollard like we think they should be. So that's why the running game in general gets probably like a C plus. I give it a C plus. Receiving game. Because of Coop alone, that I say B plus A. It could be better. I'm gonna give him a B plus. I'm not gonna give him an A because the reason I'm giving him a B plus is because it can be a lot better than what it is. For the simple fact that guys dropping balls and the play calling on those games that we lost and injuries. Mark Cooper's not 100%. We needed him in that Jets game. Probably would have won that game if we had him. We would have scored a lot more points. And last but not least, receiving game, Witten, Cobb. We thought Cobb was going to be, I personally thought Cobb was going to be used as a Edelman type guy, Brady Edelman guy. Cobb is really quick off the ball, really gets into his routes really good, has pretty good hands, but just hasn't, I don't know if him and Dak are not really fully on the same page. He's made some big catches for us, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't gotten to his full potential. He's just been with us 6 games, so Maybe they need a little bit more time, whatever. Witten is doing with the Witten thing. Jarwin, I think Jarwin should see more playing time, more shots, 2 tight end sets. Got to see more. A lot of this goes with coaching too, so you got to put that in the factor as well. I go ahead and put Dak Prescott by himself. I give Dak an A-. I give Dak an A-. Got to give him an A-. Can't give him an A or A+ because he's made some mistakes, so it happens for an NFL quarterback, especially you have to factor when you're talking about a quarterback, you have to put into perspective of a healthy offensive line because there's no quarterback in NFL history that can throw the ball accurately, that can throw touchdown passes, that can throw the ball on the dime every time with a broken down offensive line, and he's always running for his life, and no quarterback is any good to you on his ass. So all those games where Tyron Smith was out, Lyle Collins was out, and et cetera, Dak has still been scoring. Let's see. Let me go over the Jets. Let's see. Let's start with the Giants. 35 points, 31 points, 31 points against the Dolphins. The only low-scoring game is the Saints was 10 points. Y'all know that was coaching and bad, just everything bad altogether. Packers game, we were coming back, but it was too late. 24 points. Jets game, 22 points. So getting up the field, unfortunately, has a lot to do with the quarterback. And getting up the field is not the problem for the Cowboys. So that's why I gave Dak Prescott an A- and the whole offense. I give the whole offense maybe like a B-. I give the whole offense B-. Defense, we just kind of talked about defense. I gave the whole defense a D because it's been lacking. Defensive line, oh my God. Woo. D-. I don't even have to get into that. Y'all already know defensive line has been struggling, with the exception of Robert Quinn and now D-Law finally coming out the woodworks in the Eagles game. And hopefully Michael Bennett will kind of add some disruption in there. Linebackers, it just seems like coaching has a lot to do with this defense lacking their ability. With the 4-2-5 defense, just hasn't been really a good run-stopping defense. We just haven't had the ability to run stop the way the defense is designed to cover the field in different zones and things like that, where they got their guys positioned where to be. You can tell they're out of place. It makes the tackling Dutchman and Jalen Smith look out of place all the time. And I've seen them shoot wrong gaps at times when they blitz. So secondary, with the exception of Byron Jones being, I guess I hate to say this, but I guess you can put him in a shutdown corner position because he doesn't see a lot of action. But Cheeto kind of messes that up. And with the pass interference calls and Jeff Heath with the overrunning the play and all that stuff and the bad angles. And there's no playmakers on this defense really. They're just now starting to kind of create some turnovers a little bit, which we needed in those games we lost. So I give the whole defense probably like a D. But that's all I got, man. I hope that kind of helped a little bit. I tried to touch everything that I could, but that's what I got, man.
Awesome. My Cowboys family. Special teams, offense, defense. The floor is yours.
I mean, special teams for me, I would definitely give Maher a C just for exactly the same reasons. For as many big, great, amazing kicks he's made, he's missed that many important ones. So that averages out.
I'll give him an F.
That averages out. I'm with DJ, though. I think special teams specifically, I give them an F just because, obviously it's not like they've allowed a touchdown on special teams, but they just suck. Like, they haven't done anything. They have not done anything outside of the bare basic minimum of.
Pollard's doing this a lot, though. Like, back away from the ball, let it go out of bounds.
Look, the point is that's it. Not going to go into it anymore. Offense, I give them a B. Again, we're seeing a lot of good things. I'm really happy about the new things that we're seeing. I think that, the future is bright with this offense. You know what I mean? Again, individual guys have obviously done, a little better, a little worse.
There's been injuries as well.
Yeah, so I just think that, our offense definitely is trending upward. And again, they haven't been necessarily the reason that things haven't been working. I think our offense is suffering more from, again, identity and execution. Identity, because I still feel like we're figuring things out between Kellen Moore, all the other pieces we have, Garrett, and of course execution, just because honestly, like, you can't even put it on the coaches. When Amari Cooper drops the ball, that's Amari Cooper. Michael Gallup, Jason Witten, Zeke, we can put a lot of the schematics on the coaches, but this is straight up players, and that's where I have to, big picture, I give them a B. But for me, the standout on offense is La'el Collins. La'el Collins, when we signed him, I think that there were still a lot of people kind of like, oh, really? Like La'el? And
why?
Honestly, La'el Collins, I think, is going to end up being like the Tyron Smith, except, knock on wood, healthy in the sense of what a overall cheap signing for a guy that's going to –
Please knock on wood.
That guy has Dak's back to the ends of the earth. Like, him and Dak are such good friends. I just, again, I'm really excited, and I think that he's one of the few guys that since we've signed him, he's played up to his contract, if not above.
Yes.
So, again, defense, like a C, almost C minus, just because of the expectations that we had from last year into this year. And the fact that we have been just so inconsistent on defense with a lot of the bend don't break even early on in our early games. Like, we were giving up a lot of yards, allowing teams to kind of just score on us later on in the game. And again, I'm seeing some positive trends upward. The Eagle game, we managed to clean up a lot of those little things, especially not allowing them to just score, dumb points there at the end. So I'm happy about the overall direction because I do think we are trending positively. But that still doesn't take away a lot of the bad things that we saw from our defense, and that brings me to a C minus.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go through as many of the grades as you already kind of went over them, but are we gonna talk about expectations, or is this the last topic there, DC fan?
No, we talk about expectations.
Okay, cool.
Well, hold on, because I haven't gave my grade yet. Pimping, swag out. Did you already talk about defense?
Hold on, no. Yeah, we're still talking. We still got the mic here. I just wanted to check in, make sure we were going to talk about expectations. That's all.
That's closing statements. That's going to be tied in with closing statements.
Cool. I got you. So then let me just say a couple things. Special teams. Even though Maher is in the Hall of Fame, his jersey at least. I'm gonna give I'm not grading. I'm just gonna say the guy I look at, who's the best guy in the special teams right now, LP Ledesor. Much love, number 91. Yeah, he hasn't messed up a snap. That's all I got to say. He's the winner. And then on offense, I mean, you guys brought up all the names that I was thinking as well. So I'll say Amari Cooper, because Amari Cooper, to me, playing through the injury, doing what he does out there, his stats that and the way he's helped Dak get to the next level. A lot of people are involved. Cooper's the guy. I mean, there's reasons you guys said Zeke. There's reasons you guys say Dak and offensive lineman, 100%. But Coop. He's the guy to me. Is when he's in there, you see the change. Now, when it comes to the defense, man, this is tough for me because I think it's just a surprise to all of us that these guys have not played as well out there. But I do think it's partially some of the still getting whatever the change is going on defense there between Marinelli, Richard, whatever the play calling or whatever. We don't know really what's going on, but what I do think that the players, when they're given a task, they're performing it. Like they're saying, they stopped Kamara. They have certain guys. Le'Veon Bell, they stopped Le'Veon Bell. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was pretty much stopped, but the other guys got us. And that to me is where I think that if we clean up some stuff. I want Anthony Brown on the bench or the fourth corner. I want Jordan Lewis out there. You got Michael Bennett out there on the line. In a rotation. These are like two new players in your mind. Think of it. These two guys are going to elevate the defense in their time in there. They're not going to play full time. They might not even be starters, but they're going to be in there playing a larger role and helping this defense kind of maybe find an identity in the sense of kind of wrapping things up together and maybe going to that next level. I'm hopeful for that. But right now at this point, I really love like what DJ said about Byron Jones. The fact that he locks down that side. They really haven't tested him.
They gave up.
Even with the injury. But without question, to me, the guy is Robert Quinn on defense. I mean, his rush, his pressure. He's got 6 sacks. He's got 6 sacks in 2 less games than anybody else. If you play, you know what I'm saying? So in what, 5 games, he's got 6 sacks. Is that right? I'm not sure. Is that right? Yeah, it is right. 5 games, he's got 6 sacks. I mean, the guy's beasting out there. Even though he's got some help from Tank, and they're scheming against Tank and they're doubling Tank. My point is that Quinn is showing it out there, and he's, you know, we didn't know what was going to happen because of Miami's 3-4 defense. Hence is why we got Robert Quinn for a 6th round pick, and Taco as well if you want to throw for Miami. 6, and the same thing here. Michael Bennett, 6th round pick. Michael Bennett. These guys coming from a 3-4 defense, and again, they come into a 4-3, and look what happened with Quinn, former Pro Bowler. You know, in the wrong defense, the leftovers, we got him for relatively cheap, and look at him out there. Now, I believe similar things going to happen with Bennett, and I'm hopeful on that because it's the same kind of thing. And you see more involvement from Will McClay in these decisions, in these trades. And I think that you know, you're seeing these kind of players, whether it be a Cobb, and again, they kind of came around quick, they went at it. Or if you look at it like these teams that are getting left the odd man out on their teams, and we're picking them up for lesser. These players out there. Quinn is the guy, is my guy so far on defense for this season. But I look for this whole defense line to get better, and it's going to help the defensive backs. And I'm really, really going to look forward to that coming up.
Good point.
Oh, is it my turn? All right. Besides special teams, everybody gets a C except for Brett Maher. The guy only missed 4 field goals. He's 10 for 14. You put him in situations to continue kicking field goals. He's bound to miss some. It's the NFL. Nothing's perfect. You give a running back, you keep feeding your running back, he's bound to fumble. Zeke did against the Saints game, right? So Jason Witten only fumbled 9 times in 15 years. So, but the point of it is you're bound to miss some. Brett Maher, he's 10 for 14. Last time I checked, the last game he played in, he was 3 for 3. Brett Maher gets an A+, and that's why his jersey is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Shout out to my guy, Brett Maher.
What the fuck? What?
No, sir.
Debatable.
No, sir. But, you know, the Cowboys got to get Big Tay back there consistently. I don't like Randall Cobb back there. Give TP a shot at special teams for punt returns. You know, Randall Cobb should not be catching punt returns. So everybody on special teams, C, except for Brett Maher, A+, Hall of Famer, jersey sitting there looking nice. And it has victory over the Philadelphia Eagles. See, that wouldn't be in there if it wasn't for Maher. So knowing that beating the Eagles is in the Hall of Fame, it makes me that much happier. So, offense. I'm concerned on offense. I'm going to start off with Dak Prescott. Everybody's looking at me. What is he going to say about Dak? What is he going to say? He's a Dak hater. What's he going to say?
Nobody's looking at you like that.
Shut up, boy. It's my floor. Dak Prescott, I would like to see him step up more in the 3 losses. He was two touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Now, you can say the ball tipped off receivers' hands, but when Dak Prescott, if he goes to Canton, Ohio, they're going to have touchdowns and they're going to have interceptions on the TV screen. They ain't going to say how many were tipped, how many were actually picked, and how many were actually intercepted. It's not going to say that. It's going to have his touchdowns. It's going to have his interceptions if he happens to go to Canton, right? So, is there a way we can time that guy out? Holy smokes. Thank you. But anyway, so there's that. Dak Prescott, for me, gets a B-. Easily. Just because I wanted to see him step up more in the 3 losses. We lost to a backup by a point. Green Bay, that was on the defense. The Jets, we turned it on too late. Dak Prescott should have turned it on a lot sooner than what he did against these Jets. The slow starts, yeah, you could blame that on play calling, the offense, whatever. But as a man that's seeking $40 million, you got to play better than that. Dak Prescott gets a B- for me. Zeke gets a C- for me. He does. Zeke hasn't been looking like Zeke as of late. That's my thing. Zeke. So with Zeke, he showed up against the Eagles. His last performance, I give him an A+, but for the course of the 4-3 season, he gets a C- for me. Amari Cooper, same grade. You show up big against, the Packers. You get hurt. You play 3 snaps, whatever. I need consistency from Amari Cooper. He gets a C- for me too. He has to be consistent, and he's had some drop balls. Michael Gallup gets an F for me. You come on strong, and then you just fall off the map. Randall Cobb, a big F for me. Randall Cobb, there's a rant video with me talking about Randall Cobb. You gotta go watch that. Defense, defense gets a D collectively for me. Collectively, I ain't gonna break all the players down. We ain't got no time for that. But there's that. The team total, right? The 4-3 team, the way they played, and I know what there can be. I'm gonna give them a B- collectively. A B- collectively. That's what I got, guys. What happened?
DJ.
All right. So speaking of concerns, I'll let my Cowboys family go first. Go ahead and close it out. Close it out. Let's hear your concerns, MCF.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right, good. Maybe you want to.
So I mean, honestly, I don't know. The whole team concerns me. I'm always concerned as a Dallas Cowboy fan. Everything concerns me. No. Not really sure. Just because, again, we have – I feel like overall the team is trending positively. I think most of it does fall on the coaches because I do think that we have the personnel to make things happen. So, just looking forward to see what our coaches can do with these guys. Again, really, really, really excited about the fact that we're first in the NFC East and that we get to come back from our bye week to play the Giants on Monday night. So
maybe the Bills win against Philly.
Just saying. So I just feel like it's another way to kind of start the season, the halfway point of the season off hot. Again, if we can get over those slow starts we had, punch the Giants in the mouth and, kind of keep going because I feel like we do still have a point to prove. We play the Vikings after that. So again, I just say it feels almost like the NFC East Redux facing Kirk Cousins again. So just overall, I just think that, it's a good way to, because the second half of our season is a lot tougher than the first half, which is why the fact that we're heading into it 4-3, probably frustrates most of Cowboy Nation. But I don't know, overall positive thoughts. I think most of it falls on the coaches. They have to get these pieces in place the right way. I don't really know what else there is to say. You guys said everything.
I think that the coach, if you look at coaches, it's the mix of what Garrett's going to allow Kellen Moore. That's the big thing. If we can see less footprints of Jason Garrett, I think we're going to have a fantastic offense. I think this offense is going to continue to get better, or to at least stay at the more top end that what we've seen this year against all kinds of competition. I do believe that if we have more of that dynamic kind of offense, that's going to be, so that's where it falls on coaches for sure. But that's a huge, and on defense, same thing when it comes to the coaches. I think that even though you have a Marinelli guy, a 3-tech under now in there with Michael Bennett, he's really a Richard guy. Think about it, right? You guys made a point about him coming from Seattle. He coached him three of the 5 years he was there. He was the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks. So Richard and him have a connection. Richard is he knows he's gonna know how to mix him into the defense. And so I think that the expectations of using of the run stop getting better on the defense, I want to see that happen out there in the field. I think that Bennett's going to be a part of this. And I think that the way that they use him is going to be a part of this. So again, the coaching, I said offense and defense there. On the defensive side, that's a spot there I want to see improve. I want to see a better improvement there. When it comes to the pass rush in the interior, we just resolved that for the most part with Bennett, I believe, and then improving disruptive and getting to the stopping the run. That's huge. By doing those things, you're going to help the defensive backs, and that I think you're going to see a huge improvement there if you can get those front four guys in this Marinelli-styled defense to excel there. I think the biggest part about the defensive backs we got to see, and you guys know what it is. Anthony Brown got to sit down.
We need to see him on the bench.
You got to see Jordan Lewis out there in that field, I believe, slot corner. You got to see more of him. And I think that he is a key piece of this, a playmaker. I want to see him out there. Again, the concern is if we see Anthony Brown back out there. The concern is if we see too much Marinelli out there. The concern is if, I would say on offense, is if we see too much Jason Garrett and too much of his footprints all over the damn offense. Those are my concerns, and I want to make sure that stuff is cleaned up. Discipline, all that stuff, yes. And I do think that, of course, any normal thing, injuries, we got to be sure we're good to go, especially at the offensive line. And and these other guys have been banged up. We have 2 weeks. We're gonna get the Giants, like Fiance said, and we gotta have the Redskins next. You want to throw Kirk Cousins in that mindset? It's the Vikings, but I'm just saying that's the part two of the season starting again. So
it's a good way to, I think, start off the season against,
the second half of the season,
teams that we really need to beat.
Yeah, and so listen, I feel good. I like it, but those are my concerns, and I want to make sure those things are sewed up when the season continues here in just a little over a week.
Expectations? Any expectations for the remainder of the season?
Yeah, I expect the run to be stopped. I expect our interior pass rush to be elevated. I expect these things for sure. I expect that in turn is going to improve our defense all around. It's going to help our linebackers, whether it's in the run game or cover, and it's going to help the defensive backs in the coverage part of things because the quarterback's going to be under pressure. They can't step up in the pocket because they're going to have either Malik Collins now, who's going to have to be the guy who's just single block now, or it's going to be Michael Bennett tearing your ass up. So he brings a different attitude, whether you like him or not. That's something we're missing in this defense. That killer. There's a lot of talk from Tank, but there's not that killer instinct. That whether you might believe he could do that. He's got something wrong up there. We need that crazy. We need that Charles Haley type crazy in that team. He's not Charles Haley, but he's got that mentality of crazy. We need that. We need that little off guy there on that defense to kind of maybe just that last little piece that can elevate the defense to that next level. That's my expectation. See the defense improve, which in turn will automatically help the offense. Even in Garrett's offense, I don't like it, but I'm saying that's when I'm concerned. I want to see Kellen Moore's offense, but the defense will then make Garrett's offense, if Garrett has more control, look better. I want to see Kellen Moore taking over the offense more. Given the ability to, I want to see more of deceptive and coaching from Brashard. But those frontline guys got to do it on defense. That's the key, in my opinion. We do that where we can be back to that playoff run type team.
Yeah, you see, I'm hesitant to say my expectation just because I feel like the Cowboys played so inconsistently in the first half of the season. But
that's true.
My expectation is that we go 12-4.
With what? 12-4?
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are set up in a spot where we kind of saw it last year. We were 3-5. We were in such a down spot. We managed to turn it around, and we went on the streak of a lifetime, basically.
About 5, yeah.
Just saying. So the point is that now I think that we're in a similar spot where we can get ourselves into a streak like that. But that's why I'm saying that my expectations are high because I think the possibility is there. I just don't know. That's why I said so much of it relies on the coaching. Like we have to be able
with this much talent,
carry it through.
With this much talent and depth on our roster, it has to come down to coaching doing the right moves here because we have the talent.
Cowboys are showing flashes of it, especially that Philly game. Alone just makes me really think that we are just one or two little pieces away.
If they pick the wrong talent, that's on the coaches. But a lot of that is on the coaches as well. So come on, let's do it, guys.
Maybe a little too often.
Where can they find you at, MCF? Where can they find you, MCF?
Find us right here, guys, on My Cowboys Family. We're live every day. News, info, updates, live streams, game day live streams, all that good stuff. But, you can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the social media, My Cowboys Family. But
you see this right here, guys? You see this navy blue? That silver, that star over everything right here, guys. Don't ever forget. That unites us all. We want to get that same thing all together no matter what. Because, we got different plans of it, right? But we all want to get that ring, that number 6 and beyond. So, guys, never forget. Go Cowboys, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Beat somebody this weekend. Woo! We already won the bye week. We don't have to play.
Fifth quarter Cowboys. Expectations, concerns. What you got? Besides an ass whooping and Madden after this.
Man. Expectations.
This man lost for words.
To be honest with you, man, I just want to make the playoffs, man. I just want to get our foot through the door, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully once we get through the door and get past the first game, again, like we did when we got past the Seahawks, got to the Rams, just hope we can keep going, man. You know what I'm saying? So, people might be like, well, we're leading the division right now. Any given Sunday, man, you never know what could happen. Yeah, we just beat the Eagles, but we lost to the Jets. So, we lost to Green Bay, but the Eagles beat Green Bay. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Any given Sunday, this sport is crazy. So
yeah,
I just want to go past 16 games, man. You know, I don't want to just watch. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be rooting for my team. So those are really my expectations. My concerns, man, that this damn coaching staff, dude. Like adversity is a problem, man. You know, this coaching staff, they can't handle success, man. You know, they don't stick to they so damn stubborn. They don't stick to their guns, man. And if we have a downfall, it's gonna be because of them, man. Like they don't believe in sticking to their guns. You know, the running game don't work for 2 or 3 plays. They just go away from it completely, and it hurts us, man. You know what I'm saying? They go away from it completely, and it hurts us. So that's one of my concerns. Another one of my big concerns is Cheeto Bay, man. He ain't it, man. He ain't it. I mean, I heard y'all mention the Vikings and Kirk Cousins. Stephon Diggs gonna have a field day with Cheeto Bay, man. He's gonna have a field day with him easily. Every team that comes here, they put their best wide receiver over there. Why the Cowboys don't rotate cornerbacks, but swap sides, put Byron Jones, I don't know. Maybe Byron Jones can't play over there. But 1980 said the cornerback thing don't matter. It ain't like the tackles where the right and left are different.
yeah.
So I don't know, but Cheeto Bay is a big concern to me, dude. Like I feel like Kirk Cousins and Stephon Diggs could light him the hell up all night if they wanted to. I'm saying Stephon Diggs on fire, dude. You know, it just that's a big concern to me. He's one of my really big concerns. So, like I said, expectation, dudes. I just want to be in the postseason, man. And concerns, these damn coaches not knowing how to, you know, handle pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like Jason Garrett only seems to pull a trick out of his ass when he feel like when he feel like his job is on the damn line. But during the game, in-game pressure, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do in in-game pressure. You know what I'm saying? Losing 3 games in a row lit a fire under him. We won a game. Now I feel like the fire is just gonna simmer back down like it always do. You know what I'm saying? He's in a contract year. It's coaches, man. I'm not worried about the players because they gonna do what they do. You know what I'm saying? You can't really go wrong when you got a guy like Dak Prescott who balls relentlessly, and you got you know what I'm saying, a guy like a Mark Cooper who is probably the best route runner in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Hands down, you know, regardless of what people say. And you got a guy like we say 1980 said he ain't that 2016 Zeke. I think I think Zeke has already turned into the smart running back now.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
I think because he gonna be what's his name? What's that running back name that was running the players like Zeke and had that short career? Oh man, I can't think of his name. But anyways,
Reggie Bush was one of them.
yeah, but he got to stop that.
Barry Sanders?
No.
Oh,
it's old.
He cut his career short.
It's old school. Yeah, I can't think of it, man. But anyways, yeah, that's it, man. For me, concerns. Cheeto, cornerback. We got a lot of good teams coming up and good quarterbacks that really gonna pick on him. And the coaching, but you know, expectation, what I want postseason, man. Hill Quarter Cowboys on YouTube, y'all. We supposed to had the day off, but we crazy as hell and we ridiculous Cowboy fans. And we wanted y'all to see football news, ugly ass headphones. So
What?
Appreciate y'all for watching, man.
Get off that camera, boy, before you break it. Expectation. Miss Fiance out there trying to put everybody, get a little pep in their step, saying 12-4. I really see 11-5. I hate to see the team lose twice somewhere along the road, but I see 11-5, and push comes to shove, 10-6 will win this division. But the Cowboys got to take care of what the Dallas Cowboys got to take care of. We can't worry about other teams in the NFC East. We got to focus one game at a time on what the hell we got to do. Concerns is we got to find a way to win when there's missing pieces. Tyron Smith, La'el Collins, we lost to an old 4 Jets team. Amari Cooper not out there. Dak Prescott's lost. This goes from players all the way up to coaches. They got to find a way to win games when there's pieces missing, because every team out of 16 games have players either out for the season or whatever, but you got to have that quality depth in there to go in there and win ball games. So if somebody gets hurt, can the Cowboys keep that glue together and plug and play, almost like with Travis Frederick and Joe Looney? That's probably one position that I can say, all right, Jason Garrett, you handled that well. Other than that, I can't really speak on it too much when it comes to plugging players in and having them play. Hell, the Eagles won a Super Bowl with like 16 guys weren't even on the training camp field with them. Came in, brought them in, and they won a damn Super Bowl. You have to be able to adjust. That's one of my concerns. Dak Prescott, the same thing. It seems like the stars have to align for Dak Prescott to be Dak Prescott. That everybody loves and wants to celebrate and cherish or whatever, right? If Amari Cooper's out, Michael Gallup's got to step up. Dak has to step up. If that's my biggest concern, is injuries equals losses for this football team. They got to be able to play no matter what, week in and week out. 11-5, 10-6. That's what I'm seeing. But that's my concerns. That's my expectations. Dallas Cowboy Football News on Facebook. Dallas Cowboy Football News right here on YouTube. DCF News 1 on Twitter. And if you're, timeout. And the reason why I gave Amari Cooper the grade that I did, because this man is getting offensive pass interference too many damn times. If you know the ref's going to call it,
good point.
If you know the ref's going to call it, why keep doing it?
Yeah.
Jason Witten does it all the time, but he gets away with it sometimes. So that's why I gave Amari Cooper the grade that he does, because the offensive pass interference, it hurt us way too many times. Amari Cooper has to learn to adjust in the new NFL, and that's another reason why. So if you're man enough to talk X's and O's, 1980, tell them to slide in my DMs like a hoe.
Appreciate y'all, man. There's no mystery expectations and concerns with this team, this ball club. I guess I'll start with my concerns first. I go with the bad first. We all know what concerns is with the coaching staff, because it trickles down to the players. The players are going to do what they're taught and told to do. It's the coach's job to put their players on both sides of the ball, put their players in the best position to make a play. That's on offense and defense. The player's job is to execute it. So it goes both ways. But the coaches have to call the play first, whatever they see. As for example, if they're on defense and the offense line up a certain way, the defense has to line up a certain way to prevent them from executing down the field. We've been having trouble doing that lately, especially with the defensive line. And our secondary is kind of weak as well. Penalties as well. That's my concern. So consistency with the coaching staff, penalties, because penalties will beat you faster than the other team, because there were a lot of plays that we've had and got called back, or holding or pass interference because you don't turn your head when the ball is in the air. Penalties will beat you faster than the other team. And adjusting in game. Don't wait till after the game is over and when it already got beat. Then the next game you adjust to it. We got to figure out how to adjust in game. Once we do those things, we'll be a pretty much perfect football team. That's the way we kind of played against the Eagles. There were some things that we messed up and did with that game, but that was a good game we played against them. And winning against a high-powered team. We got a tough schedule ahead of us. We got, after the Giants, they got Saquon Barkley back, so they're probably going to be a little better. They're struggling with Daniel Jones, so but he's young. It's expected as a young quarterback. I still think that's pretty much a winnable game for us. We got First Cousins coming up in Minnesota. They got a high-powered offense. First Cousins is a sneaky quarterback. Some games he could be off, some games he could be on. But look, just our luck, he's going to be on against us. And they have a high-powered receiving game. And like fifth quarter brought up, our secondary is known for getting pass interference calls against us because they're being taught not to look back when the ball is in the air. And when you don't look back when the ball is in the air, any type of contact is considered to be on purpose. So we got to figure out how to play the refs. Got to figure out how to turn our heads when the ball is in the air. Because when you look back, any type of contact is incidental. But those things are going to have to be worked on. Those are my concerns going into this tough road ahead of us. We got some tough games coming up. Expectations. I expect for the Cowboys to play like they played last week against the Eagles every week. We expect them to win the NFC East, and we expect them to go to the playoffs, and we expect to win a Super Bowl. That's what every fan base expects from their team, for them to play like they get paid, and for them to go out there and execute, and for them to go out there to adjust and remain consistent and get the job done and go home. Those are our expectations as Cowboy fans, is to get on that field, all to the ball in a bad mood, no mistakes, no penalties, don't beat yourself, get out there 3 and out on defense so your offense can milk the clock, run, pass, catch, score. That's the bottom line. I mean, that's all there is to it in a nutshell. I'm not gonna get into each individual player, because we've already done that earlier this segment. But that's what we need to do to win ball games. We got to take control of the game early, like we did last week against the Eagles. Those 3 losses were lessons that we should have learned from. Hopefully they did. And we didn't, just because we won this game against the Eagles don't mean we're the best team in the NFL. We got a whole lot of work to do. And with tougher assignments coming up. Much tougher offenses, much tougher defenses. And it's going to be a test for us. So we got to win some big games, because everybody thinks that we can only win against easy teams. You get what I'm saying? I'm tired of that. And I know y'all are tired of it too. We got to win some real games. Philly was probably the closest one. Those 3 games that we lost, we should have won at least 2 of those. I sound like a broken record. We all keep saying that over and over. But those are our expectations as Cowboy fans, is to come back, to get this bye week going. Everybody get healthy. You got 2 weeks to get healthy, and to get everybody at least close to 100%, and go in and win against the Giants, and have a positive remainder of the season. I'm not gonna say what I think our record should be, because it's bad luck for me to do that. But I do expect them to enter the playoffs and be a playoff contender for the Lombardi Trophy. And that's the bottom line. And that's all I got for tonight. So I thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank Fifth Quarter. I want to thank Football News. I want to thank my Cowboys family for joining us. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to these guys, I got 100. I had over 200 people in here. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the people on this roundtable, make sure you do.
God damn it.
Because they are the ones that you want to listen to. They're the experts here. And they keep their X's and O's and their ears to the ground, and they know what they're talking about. My Cowboys family goes live every night. So if you're looking for something to do, something to watch, something to talk about, go on their channel. They'll bring it to you every night. Fifth Quarter Cowboys will keep it real, tell you straight up. So if you're looking for real talk, go to Fifth Quarter. Dallas Cowboy Football News is a genius with the X's and O's. So is Cowboys family. All of them have their strengths. So make sure y'all check them out, man, and show them some love. But that's all we got for tonight, guys. Thanks for joining us on this roundtable, on this bye-week vacation. Appreciate y'all, man, taking time out of taking your Saturday. But like I always say, make sure you stay cowboyed up, because you never know what the day is going to bring you. Holla back at us. We out.